Hey, I heard you like fishing.
Fishing is the closest I get to relaxing, and it always seems like I get better bites when sharing a fishing spot with someone else. So, if you ever want to cast some lines together, I can think of worse ways to spend our time.
How about right now? This looks like a great spot. Where the hell did he come from? Hey guys, welcome to ESO Vault. Today I've got another one bar build for you. Now this isn't a heavy attack build. That's because this is an Arcanist, and the Arcanist has its own channeled attack, which is similar in power and duration to the heavy attacks in one bar Oakensoul builds. But in this case, it's built right into the class. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the character sheet for today's build, Deadly Scholar. The character is a Dark Elf, and that's a top stamina damage dealer race. Other good races for Stam DPS are up on the screen. I'm using Artaeum Takeaway Broth as my buff food, and that gives me health, health recovery, stamina, and stamina recovery. Dubious Camoran Throne is a cheaper version of this. My Mundus Stone is the Thief, and that's going to be a better bet than the Lover. And that's because in groups, it's super easy to overpenetrate if you build into that. Up top, I have all 64 points in stamina. My max stats are 21,000 points of health and 29,000 points of stamina. Stamina recovery is at 1500, and that's more than enough for this setup. Weapon damage is at 5600 and crit is at 57%. I'm looking good there. Sitting dead still, penetration is at 5600, and that's without doing anything at all. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the skills. I'm going to go through the skills in the order I use them. First up is Inspired Scholarship, and that does okay damage all on its own, but more importantly, it makes sure I always have at least one Crux. Crux are the circling green things that power the attacks of the Arcanist, and I can have anywhere from none to a maximum of 3. With 3 Crux, my main attack will do its maximum damage, and Inspired Scholarship helps me get to 3 stacks quickly while it lasts. Next on my bar is Fulminating Rune. Fulminating Rune does frost damage to the target and nearby enemies. Allies can activate a synergy for additional damage. Now I use Cephaliarch's Flail to lash out at enemies in front of me, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This powerful attack damages enemies while healing me and generating a Crux. Enemies take additional damage for a period of time after being hit by this skill. I'll use this twice before moving on to my main attack. Now that I have 3 Crux circling me, I use the Exhausting Fate Carver skill. This consumes the Crux and fires a beam of energy that does enormous damage while the channel lasts. I'll repeat this cycle 2 more times, Cephaliarch's Flail twice, then Exhausting Fate Carver. I have 2 more skills. The first is my self-heal, Audacious Rune Man, which will heal me and an ally in front of me. This also generates a Crux. Finally, I have my ultimate, the Tide King's Gaze. This miniature version of Hermaeus Mora does great damage to enemies in the area, and it will follow the initial target. If that target dies, it'll find a new one. What a great skill. Alright, this is a one bar build, so that's all my skills. Let's see if there are any Daedra around. This was a long way to go, but Stada works cheap, and I can always get her agent on the phone. No potions required. Major buffs are built in. I use Inspired Scholarship, Fulminating Rune, Flail twice, then the Exhausting Fate Carver, and that's it. That's the whole tamale. It's just rinse and repeat from here. I could interrupt this AoE, but that would use a global cooldown and lessen my damage. I refreshed Inspired Scholarship and Fulminating Rune. Flail, Flail, and Fate Carver again. Very simple. And that's it. Pulling up the damage with combat metrics, you can see I did 41,000 points of damage per second. 2/3 of that was from Exhausting Fate Carver. I should mention that I was doing some light attack weaving here, but honestly I skipped most of them. A lot of the time I'm queuing up my next skill during the Fate Carver channel in a similar way to how you would queue up skills in a heavy attack build. I just press the button during the Fate Carver channel. When Fate Carver ends, the next skill will fire. By the way, I should mention that I didn't use a source of major breach here. When I'm in a group, the tank is going to provide that anyway. Okay, let's look at the gear and wrap things up. I've got on 5 pieces of the Aura's Wrath set, and that's a crafted set from the high aisle. For any new players, I strongly advise you to level crafting. You could have somebody make this for you, or even buy it from guild traders, but why not just make your own? I have 2 daggers for the passive bonus to critical chance. One is Nirnhoned and the other is Precise. This build doesn't have a lot going on with status effects, so I didn't use the charge trait on the offhand. I have on the Slimecraw Mask for extra critical chance, and that comes from Wayrest Sewers, which is one of the easier dungeons in the game. My other 5-piece set is Deadly Strike, and that's a Cyrodiil set. Deadly Strike is best in slot on the Arcanist, so go PvP and get this or buy it from guild traders. Just get it any way you can. Finally, I have on the Oakensoul Ring, and that's the little band that makes one-bar builds work. You don't need the Empower buff here, but the other buffs sure do help. Rings are bloodthirsty with weapon damage and chance, and the armor is all medium with the Divine's trait. That's it for the gear. Let's push on to the champion points and finish up. Champion points are Fighting Finesse, Biting Aura, Thaumaturge, and Wrathful Strikes. That's a nice fish. I didn't catch a damn thing. What's wrong, buddy?
I know I'm not the most sociable person to have around. Believe it or not, I'm worse if I haven't eaten in a while. From experience, keeping yourself fed is just another way of staying prepared for anything.
Oh hell, cook up that fish if you're hungry. Can I have some? Sorry guys, I think there's only enough for Sharp and me. But hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your adventures in Tamriel.